All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is March 28th, 2025. Thank you for being here. All right, let's take a look at some charts. All right, for the SPY on the 10-minute, we got a 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. 2-hour chart, 2-hour downtrend coming into the close. All right. On the daily chart, big red candle down, lower high, lower low, closing underneath the trend line right here. All right. Closing underneath the trap, closing underneath the falling 17 in a daily downtrend, making a lower low. Price action closing under the falling 17. If we look at it on the scratch, you can see we're under the trend line, we're under the midpoint, and we're on our way to making a lower low. There's SPY on the daily chart. For the game plan, 5-minute on the game plan. Take a look at this, and let's move this stuff out of the way. All right, we had a 10-minute downtrend almost all day today. All right, so we shorted the market right underneath 566.60 price action, and we were rewarded all the way down. All right, 566 left off in a bear flag. So there's SPY on the daily chart. Nice 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. Options, I like Friday options. I like 7 DTE and 14 DTE, okay? I like them $2 to $5 out of the money. All right, those are the options I like to pick. $2 to $5, preferably increments of 5 cents. All right, so 5 cents is what I like. So, increments of 5. So I would pick 555, 550, 545, 560. There's more open interest on those increments of 5, and that provides greater liquidity. Greater liquidity makes it easier for me to get in and out. So there's the game plan for the SPY. SPY game plan worked. QQQ game plan, again, bearish underneath 481.80. Price action, you can see price action here underneath 481.80. 10-minute downtrend all the way into the close. Where do I see SPY support? At the 2025 low. All right, and QQQ 2025 low. That's a support. 2025 low and 2025 low for SPY and for QQQ. Thanks, B. All right. So there's QQQ. Let's take a look at that on the daily daily chart. Price action. All right, lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the 17, making a lower low. All right, price action in a daily downtrend. All right, making a lower low. All right, price action down here in quadrant 1, that's bearish. All right, see that? Let's zoom out. You can see this is the quad lines. We're down in quadrant 1. You move up, you give it up. See how you move up? You give it up and more. That's bearish. All right, you got an H pattern rollover right here. We'll see how far it goes. There's QQQ on the daily chart. Let's take a look at FNGA. FNGA, same deal. Breaking the downtrend line or spiking it. All right. Down here in quadrant 3 in the lower third, that's bearish. Everybody got a lower high and a lower low, closed under trap, closing under all-time high anchored VWAPs, and all of them closed underneath the 17 EMA. Diamond Dow did the same thing, okay? Closed underneath all-time high anchored VWAP, underneath the uptrend line, underneath the 17 EMA, underneath the trap, underneath the midpoint. That's neutral right here. There's Diamond Dow. The only thing about Diamond Dow, kind of holding on to that uptrend there. We'll see where it wants to go with this. All right, let's take a look at IWM. Same candle, down here, quadrant 4, quadrant 1. This is bearish. Underneath, all-time high anchored VWAP, underneath the uptrend line, underneath the midpoint, underneath everything, really. Okay, so this is bearish down here, IWM. Let's take a look at our technicals. T2122 slammed us down here into the oversold zone, and we meandered back and forth between the oversold zone and the sell zone today. Nothing bullish really happened. T2123 selling from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. All right, underneath this 200 SMA. So looking like we got a bear flag breakdown. All right, 3-bar chart, 3 more red candle bars. Again, looking like we got a bear flag breakdown. Caught underneath, fading 200 SMA. Caught underneath 2 prior all-time high anchored VWAPs. Right, 2 prior all-time highs right there. On the 15-minute chart, you can see we're back underneath the falling 200 SMA. Not a good look. That's bearish. All right, let's take a look at the 3-bar. Again, we got a hockey stick with a breakdown happening right here. Okay, so that's T2123. FNGA. All right, price action red from the beginning to the end. Underneath the uptrend line, underneath the 200 SMA, underneath all-time high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line, down here testing the lows right here. So that's bearish. All right, FNGA. Let's take a look at a few sectors. Start off with XLE. All right, XLE got a lower high, lower low, closed inside a bullish trap over the rising 17, up over the all-time 12-month high anchored VWAP, up over downtrend line 1, downtrend line 2, and the midpoint. I'm just going to give it to them. They closed in the upper third. All right, so the XLE, that is bullish up there. Let's take a look at USO. All right, USO, lower high, lower low, closing inside a bullish trap over the 17, over this 3-year, see, 3-year high anchored VWAP. That's a post-COVID high right there. Okay, over the 3-year high anchored VWAP, over a hooking 17 EMA there, over the uptrend line, right here at the midpoint, that's neutral. Let's take a look at UNG. UNG in a downtrend, they made a lower low. Price action for UNG, higher low, higher high, closing over a bearish trap, over the falling 17, up here in the upper third. That's bullish up there, but still stuck with that downtrend label. Why? They made lower highs and lower lows. All right, let's take a look at GLD. All right, GLD made a new all-time high. Doesn't get any bullish, more bullish than that. SLV. Silver, lower high, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over the 17, over the 12-year high anchored VWAP, up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish. Let's take a look at a few sectors. SMH, semiconductors, bearish down here in quadrant 1. Lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the midpoint, quadrant 1, that's bearish. Let's take a look at the cousin, XLK. Same deal. Lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the uptrend line, under the midpoint, in the lower third, that's bearish. Let's take a look at XLF. XLF, lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish cross, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under this hooking 17 EMA, still in the upper third, that's bullish. Not too much more though, and they'll be knocked out of that. All right, underneath this doji right here, they're going to get knocked out of that upper third. That's XLF. Let's take a look at IYT. IYT down here in quadrant 1. All right, that's bearish. Under the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line. Lower high, lower low, closing underneath the trap, underneath the falling 17, underneath the uptrend line. All right, everything, this is bearish, IYT. All right, so let me just say, XLK, that's bearish. IYT, That's bearish. XLF. Borderline bullish. All right. So we have nothing working for us other than a falling dollar. Okay. That's it. That's all we got working for us. Earnings have already come and gone. All right. Dollar making lower highs and lower lows. All right. GDP was not that impressive. All right. Wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. So there we go. Everything looking bearish at this time. Unless, of course, they have a rescue program comes in on Monday. We'll see. Beginning of a new month next week. So we'll see what happens here. There's XLF. That's about the only bullish outlook I see right now. All right, traders, that's it for me for today. All right. Any shenanigans for Monday being quarter closed? Anything's possible. You know, it's always on the table there, so we'll see. You know, that might have that window dressing come in and, you know, buy it all up. Who knows? We'll wait and see what happens. Thanks, everyone. Everyone have a wonderful afternoon. Thanks for playing those puts, trading them. So glad lots of members made daily goals and profits. All right, so we'll see you guys on Monday, 8 o'clock. All right, Monday at 8. Be back on Monday. Yeah. Thanks. All right, love it, Brad. That's 2 days in a row or more. All this week's been green, right? Thanks, Mel. Whole week. Love it, Brad. Love it. Way to go, Brad. All right, traders. I'll see everybody on Monday. All right. I got coaching with somebody tonight at 5. All right. So if you're here, please remember to turn on your Skype, turn on your phone, not turn on your phone, but turn on your speakers and turn on your microphone. All right. Because I will be calling you at 5. All right, traders. That's it. Thank you.